What's up, peeps? We're gonna give you guys a day in the life of high performance hunter. We're going to take you through a whole episode of a world record breaking beast athlete and let you guys know every single step of the day what it looks like to live this lifestyle. So we just finished a record breaking workout in the gym with my new coach. I'm not an influencer. I'm not one of these people who puts filters on his abs. I'm not somebody who likes to stand there and take little poses for pictures. I'm a badass athlete. You can whoop your ass at any given time. This right here is a little bridge that I stuck into my nose. You guys may think I'm crazy, but this cheap thing in a company called 𝗕𝗟𝗗𝗥, which is meant for snoring and getting more oxygen, just by clearing your nasal passageways and getting more oxygen to your system at nighttime, you get much more restful and beneficial sleep. I'm so crazy about this. I'll show you guys some videos. I literally put wax strips into my nose and ripped all the hair out of my nose yesterday. Like, even the smallest pieces of performance, hair, whatever it may be, could hold me back from getting my new world record. So I do not let anything get in my way, whether it's hair in my nose, a bridge in my nose, whatever it may be. I'm willing to do what it takes. The next thing that I'm going to do, guys, you see this heart rate monitor. It's bipolar. I'll show you guys something that's pretty cheap and easy. There's multiple companies that do this, but I get my heart rate variability just to make sure that I can see where I am in my performance and how ready I am to train. So if you come on over here, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So this app right here is called 𝗕𝗟𝗏. I wouldn't say it's the #1 way to handle this, but it's cheap and it's free, so I'm messing around with it. Today I woke up and I had the score of 7. So I'm 7 out of 10 ready, but that basically means I'm ready to go. My average heart rate was 41 and my lowest heart rate was 33 during the test. So you got to understand, usually it starts up here because I'm moving around and then it starts to slowly settle down. So if you look at it, pretty low heart rate during resting, average highest was 68 right near the start. And what you're trying to do, guys, is basically look at these trends to make sure, like that was after a day of full rest on Sunday, a little bit of training on Monday. My hard workout was on Saturday, and then you can see I fully spiked and I was ready to go super hard on Tuesday, which I did. I did a high rock style workout. If you look over 2 weeks, I was pretty wrecked over here because I had been training really, really hard. I lost my heart rate monitor here, which is kind of embarrassing, but let's not talk about that. But as you guys can see, I was pretty much in the green zone, the blue zone, ready to train this week. The next thing that we're going to talk about that I do every single morning when I wake up is hydration first. I do not like eating a lot of food before I start training, so I'm going to show you exactly what I take every single morning before I go do my session. If you guys look right here, you can notice up top, carbs. Lots of carbs. But this is the most important section. Strength X2, this is our product right here. Creatine, citrulline, super important. Like, I cannot begin to tell you guys, I love this. You've seen it in my videos before. So I put this in, hydro, I get this in, and pre-powder. So I get all 3 of these, set them up, get my blender. Here's the next piece. Come on over here. Come closer, come closer. This thing. Over the past couple of years, I've really become just like an absolute freak about where I get my water from. So it's either only bottled water, filtered water, or through this machine right here. So I have a filter over there, and then I run it through another filter over here. I turn this little thing on, it starts pumping through all these crazy chambers, and then it fills up this little mug. And from there, I pour it into my blender. I mix everything up and I chug it down. Next thing that I tackle is coffee. If I'm just keeping it simple, guys, I will take an instant coffee. There's this company called Immortal that sends me a bunch of free stuff. I'll just take the packet, blend it up, put it in there. Sometimes if I'm feeling fancy, we've got companies like 𝗕𝗟𝗏𝗏, and we've got Paper Street Coffee. They'll send it to me. I'll blend the whole thing up. But most importantly, what you guys will notice that I do is I take, sorry, I had to go on my trash. I literally empty out 2 or 3 of these things of honey every single week. So this is about a pound of honey. So I'm going through about 2 or 3 pounds of honey every single week. Just grab about 3 or 4 tablespoons of honey, dump it in there, chug it. And as I'm warming it up, I have to take all this stuff in. So beta-alanine starts to set in, citrulline starts to set in. I'm starting to hydrate, and then I make sure to have a second water bottle right here full to take down during the workout. So I just keep on sipping, and I'm taking down about 24 ounces of water and hydrate every single hour of the hour. So before I want to show you guys something, like this is our off season. Another thing that I forgot to tell you guys about my morning routine is I weigh myself on the scale. So I got in at 208.8 and I'm gonna get butt naked right now. This is another really important thing that you could do after you're done with a hard workout like that. I've already been hydrating a little bit, not too much, but what you want to see is how much sweat have you lost in a workout like that. And this will tell you performance wise what to look at. We're gonna really do this the traditional way, just blurring out.
Okay.
Yo, come check this out. That's 203.2, and I've already added on at least 2 to 3 pounds of water. So I probably lost about 9 pounds of fluids during that workout. That's how extreme some of these sessions get. And I'm not naked. So you good?
Yeah.
But that's how extreme some of these sessions get. So if you think about it, you're losing 9 pounds of fluid. That's like a really, really intense way to lose performance. Is if you go out and train and do something that intense, if you do not dunk water back into your system, electrolytes, carbohydrates, like there's a reason why you're gonna feel like crap the rest of the day, and then also why you're not gonna perform well in your next workout. So for me, carbohydrates, fluids. We're gonna eat our next big solid meal in about an hour, and then we're gonna get more and more fluids. Then we're gonna start to rest, and then we're gonna come out of this curve, and we're gonna start to prime again. We're gonna have a cup of coffee, maybe some pre-workout, some more beta-alanine, spike up, get our next workout in for the day. And that's kind of what the routine looks like. But right now, after we're done drinking our mass gainer, we're gonna go hang out with my best buddy, Crazy Bob. Hello? How you doing? My spinning water? Bob taught me about it. See all these tinctures and stuff that I have in my house? Bob taught me about them.
Minerals. Come on, man. The good stuff. Can you see the oxygen in there? It'll only last a minute. Got to drink it all up in one shot.
What's Dylan? Well, the dogs will eat you. Sure, Foxy will eat you. My stomach would explode if I did that. I'm real good at drinking water fast.
Nah. And then chase it with a little bit of 0.9.
What is that? Is that alkaline?
Ocean water.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
0.9 in the morning, 3.3 after the workout. Minerals. Yeah, well, here's direct salt water.
Salty.
Wow. Shit's from 1897. How about that? Ketone, 1897. Kids were having dysentery and diarrhea. Infants were dying. He came up with that.
Just some salt.
So it's just mineral salt water. They stopped having diarrhea, it's straight their stomachs out, and no more kids dying like that. He got it from 200 feet below the ocean, and he figured out that the zooplankton and phytoplankton at a certain time of year where the whales migrate was where to get them. Dude, how he figured this out, I don't know. But he'd send stuff down, get that water, bring it up, distill it, and give it to these kids. 1897. What's old is new.
See? I don't know any of this stuff.
First of all, like, tell me what it's like being Hunter's neighbor.
Hunter's a little bit crazy, man, getting up at 4:30 in the morning. Sometimes just at the sun peaking, you see him running by the fence here and heading out. 4 hours later, he shows back up. That's Hunter.
You're an athlete, or you're very in good shape. You stay in good shape.
Yeah, I went to the Olympic trials for wrestling. I wrestled in Iowa back in 92. I was a stuntman for 34 years. I trained for sports. My agent would tell me about it. I'd go down to State Beach and I played with pro volleyball players. Booked 3 commercials that summer. You know, one I remember was with 𝗕𝗍𝗄 from Miller, another one for Bayer Aspirin. And you book these commercials and you get paid astronomical amounts of money for a couple of years. So I did that. I was a go-to guy in Hollywood for sort of, didn't matter. Bull riding, rock climbing. Rock climbing was a big one for me. Got lots of big commercials for that. Also, there was a machine out back in the 70s and 80s that Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane got behind called the SolarFlex. It was before Bowflex. I was the SolarFlex guy for a decade from 1991 to 2001. That was a big deal. Got me on the covers of Men's Health, Men's Fitness, Men's Journal. So Hunter and I constantly compare notes. What he does on the day-to-day, I sort of like was doing that kind of thing, but it was all sports oriented, where his stuff is all about physicality, how much you could push, how much you could pull, how fast you could run, what's the least amount of time. I used those sort of methods or methodology, but it was always to be a better athlete. You know, it wasn't to see how much I could lift or how fast I could run, although those were incorporated in there.
When did you meet Hunter, and how has he kind of evolved?
I had an Olympic wrestling mat, and as soon as he came over, Eddie F was like, "Hey, Bob wrestled." Hunter's like, "I wrestled in college, let's go." So we went at it for a while. I accidentally broke his nose. He's in so much better shape than he was, and he's gotten a lot bigger since 2015. So yeah, Hunter came over to my house all the time and trained. He went from being like this lean 185-pound guy to this 205-pound guy who ran better times in the mile, who did more pull-ups, who pushed more weight, who was able to just, you know, crush it in every way. I mean, that's his life. 24/7, Hunter's training, you know. I mean, what do you do? Came in here this morning and said they just broke a world record in this gym for high rocks. I mean, who does that? It's amazing. He's an anomaly.
Hunter's Meat Show.
These things are talking heavy, dude.
Does this not look like
1-1? We good? All right, so this is the first solid meal of the day, and basically we're down here in the center of Malibu, next to 𝗕𝗄𝗄𝗏, and we just went to Lily's Burritos. This has basically been my go-to breakfast for a long time. I've been training in and out of Malibu for 13 years now, and this is an iconic burrito. Now I'll put it next to my head so you can see. It's a small child. And right here, this is about a half-gallon horchata, which is some kind of like Mexican magic juice. I think it's milk, rice, cinnamon. Who else knows what's in there? Like it's just magical. Probably like 150 grams of sugar in here. This bad boy, if I had to guess, I'm not going to eat it all in one sitting. It'll just mess me up for the rest of the day. If I had to guess, it's probably got to be, I don't know, 1,200 to 1,500 calories.
Get a close-up.
Oh. You want to see first bite?
Yeah.
First bite?
All right, is that the little crispy bacon?
That's hero food.
It's now 10 in the morning, and I've had my first solid meal. That's kind of like a really good indication of what my day looks like. I woke up 5 hours ago. Coffee and honey, lots of aminos, lots of hydration. Coffee, then a mass gainer, and then I'm having a meal within about an hour to an hour and a half after the mass gainer. This is another really solid meal. Just kind of sit back and relax and chill for a couple hours, let it digest, have another solid meal, take a nap, then exercise again.
But this is what it takes. Like, you got to shovel food down. You got to get Mexican magic juice inside your system. Otherwise, you are going to ache it. What's up, guys? We're in our second session. So it is currently like almost 1 o'clock.
We did our first workout at 6 a.m. So you guys can see that we had about a 6-hour difference in between workouts. And I'm gonna come pick out my sneakers for the session. Since we're gonna weight lift, you know, we start to change from kind of running-based platforms down to these really kind of just flat performance shoes. These are the 𝗕𝗟𝗗𝗥 by Puma. And it does make a big difference. Like, I really don't like lifting weights that much inside of my racing shoes because they're carbon plated and they're just too big of a foam stack. So it ends up getting messy in the end. But these things right here, really, really sturdy and strong shoes. Good base for what we're going to do next. Just to show you guys, like, these are my shoes from earlier. And I don't even know if I can squeeze water out, but they're soaking wet. Put your hand in there. Feel, yeah, that's like, it's drenched. Yep, smell that bad though. Pretty rad. Pretty rad. Might test out some new gloves today. You know, 𝗲𝗏𝗥, this might be something we invest in, is starting to make 𝗲𝗏𝗥 gloves. I don't think a lot of people like racing in them, but I'm telling you right now, you got a nice set of gloves. Oh, this is so nice. So during this workout, like, we already just maxed out. We did a 𝗲𝗏𝗥 sim max effort, and we got the numbers that we wanted. So I think what a lot of athletes would do right now is they'd go and do an easy workout, which if you can't recover from that kind of session, which I have already, you would want to do an easy workout. But for me, I've been training for over 10 years at a really high level. What you want to do now is actually do another intense workout, but we're going to keep the reps super low. We're going to put on so much weight, like we're probably getting to 500 pounds. We're just going to keep sets of 2, and we'll do about 3 to 5 sets of them. And then we'll do some other pieces where we're really just maxing out and feeling a lot of weight on our system. And we're going to get out of here quick. And then tomorrow, we're going to do about a 4 or 5 hour bike ride. And that's where the real work starts to come in. So we're going to fucking get heavy. One thing I also notice is, I think a lot of people watch our videos, especially stupid CrossFitters. They like to talk shit about how you don't do full depth squats. In reality, you know, you shouldn't be doing full depth squats unless you're a powerlifter, bodybuilder, or weightlifter. If you're an athlete, if you go watch most athletes, it's just dangerous to do full depth squats. There's no point in being sore when you should be focusing on getting better at the sport that you do. You can get really strong from things like box squats and keep it relatively safe and take away the risk and always keep the strength. Is what you call a beta male. But when he comes into the environment of an alpha male, it's very challenging for him. Not only is just his presence being around me, sensing my testosterone and dominance, very challenging, but we also have to always lower our things at the side of the gym because he doesn't have a full physical male stature. Here's another thing I'll tell you guys about. A lot of people always DM me. They're like, what's your story? Like, what's your warm-up? I don't do warm-ups. I'm primed, all right? The fuck's wrong with you guys? I mean, have you ever seen a tiger warm up before it kills its prey? Oh, fucking beast. See that right there? It's called man meat. That's the piece of the chicken, the white meat, that everybody wants to get to because it's so delicious. How the fuck am I so pale? You fucking bitch, what are you gonna do about it? Let's go, bitch. Oh, first set of many. Tiger's fucking huge. You're out. You're at the box. You're good. Oh, that's easy. There you go. Solid. Oh, it's your everything correct? Yeah, let's go. Come on, do 20.
I'm not getting 20.
Come on, you just force it to 5. Let's go. 3, back up. Again. 4, back up. Come on. Let's go, brother. Again.
I can't do 20.
You can do 20. I did 20. I did 20 at 3:05.
There's no way.
Really? I don't know if you guys noticed, but these arms are freaking sick. These allowed by on pythons. Yes, we're gonna do 3x3 up top. We said 4x2 box squats. Got up to 425. What did we get to? 15. 415. It's not bad. After like a really hard effort like we did earlier, I'm not gonna freak out. Like I've definitely hit the 500s on that same exact squat, but it's not worth it. Don't need to go any heavier. But for this, what you really want to do is, I'm just focusing on building like that upper cage, holding tension in my upper body. And I get really, really good workouts doing dips. Always love them. Somebody better body sent me a lot of this cool equipment. So pretty sick setup, Chief. Pretty sick. I definitely feel it after that hard ass effort this morning. Much harder to hold tension. As you can see, the beta male is very challenged by heavy weight and hard tasks, especially being surrounded by an alpha male. Just the pheromones coming off of me really soak into his pores, and he feels his inability to be masculine. Woo! Oh, holy shit. That's a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight, shawty. That's a lot. I don't need to do that again. Come on, you fucking shoes. Okay, so we just did only a 45-minute strength session. I think a lot of people try to make strength training for high rocks so complicated. We did box squats, we did some dips. Box squats, we went pretty heavy, not crazy. Dips, we only made it to like 90 pounds. Nothing crazy, really wasn't that bad, maybe 100. But in reality, and then last but not least, we finished off with these sled pushes. We got up to 750 pounds. Yeah, it's double the weight that you see in high rocks, but it's one of those kind of things where your muscle groups end up feeling that extra pressure. When you do sub-maximal kind of intensities, it really does make a big difference. So I don't do a ton of it. I did the hard work this morning, and tonight I'm just polishing things up. So if you guys are trying to do strength training for high rocks and you're already a strong athlete, don't bother with it. Like, do not try to do too much work. It's not necessary. You're not going to get much stronger, and it's actually going to get in the way of you performing better when it comes to racing. So today, like, if you guys start to really pay attention to what we're doing, the biggest performance is in the morning, and then the rest of the day is all about shaping up the meals, the hydration, the lifestyle around making sure that you perform the best when it comes to working out on those A-list workouts or those A-list races. So we've already made it through 2 strength training sessions. We've already had a bunch of food, woke up, coffee, workout, mass gainer, just finished my massive burrito, just finished my second workout. And now we're gonna talk about what I'm gonna eat the rest of the day, and then basically tell you guys about some things that are coming up, like our travel, and show you guys what products you wanna bring when you're traveling. So first of all, we'll just address the travel thing. I'm gonna show you guys right now
Since our products are filled with beta-alanine, beta-alanine are one of those kind of products that you need to load. It takes at least 2 weeks to start to kick in, and you need to take it continuously for it to have its effect. So I'm always bringing this container right here, but just in case, guys, for some reason, something bad happens, I misplace this or anything like that, I have my second backup. And I just bring pills of beta-alanine, because beta-alanine I will not fuck around with. Like, I do not want to lose it. It's super valuable to me. I want to win my races. If you're not taking beta-alanine, you're doing events like this, you're being an idiot. This formula right here is designed for high performance training, and that's why I made it. But just in case, always have a backup container. Secondly, guys, I don't eat vegetables really. I just take these pills right here. So I'll go to health shops and get green shots, all that kind of stuff. I'm not the kind of guy who spends the time chopping up vegetables, eating them. The amount of vegetables that I need to eat compared to the amount of benefit that I'm gonna get out of it doesn't weigh out. So this right here, I just take handfuls of these pills. Yeah, this is about a week's worth. It's gonna cost me about $200 for the month to do it. Or I could go to a farmer's market and spend like $6 on a cucumber that's not gonna do shit for me. So being honest, you can look this up. It's called Sun Superfoods. It's broken cell wall chlorella. It's basically just like super greens inside of a little case. Lastly, a friend of mine owns this business called 𝗕𝗟𝗗𝗥. This right here, guys, basically immunity shots. When you're traveling, you do not want the chance of getting risk. So in the back of this thing, we've got tons of vitamin C, vitamin D, everything you can imagine. We have the Immunity Super Boost blend. It's got dark cherry and it's got citrus pectin. It's got all sorts of stuff. It's got elderberry, which I know chicks love elderberry, so you guys would go nuts for this stuff. It is very good for you. So watch this. Pretty simple, multivitamin. Boom, I just got my vitamins for the day. Crack this bad boy open. This is what these things look like. That's a handful of maybe like 30 of these things. Probably gotta do some water, but I'm gonna try. Yep. That was an awful idea. Don't ever try that. I don't want you guys to get hurt. Oh. Woo! Come up here, I want to show you something. So typically when I cook food, because it's such a waste of time, it takes forever to cook food. So if you're one of those kind of people that just like spends an hour to get like a sandwich or something like that, the benefit and time versus reward is not worth it. So for me, we'll cook pounds of chicken. They call this meal prepping. So I got this, I've got pounds of pasta, I've got pounds of sweet potatoes. I've even got some vegetables in here that I might eat. Lie. And I basically have to hack through this thing. I've got 48 hours left in California before I go to the East Coast. All my meals are prepped. So tonight I'm gonna try to eat 2 pounds of chicken and about 2 pounds of pasta with red sauce on it, a little bit of salt, maybe a little bit of vegetables to make me feel all healthy, but really I don't see the benefit of eating them. And then beyond that, guys, if I get bored, maybe some V8 juice for old people, and your boy loves it too. But this is really a day in the life. Like right now you're looking at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've already got both my sessions done for the day. I'm gonna take a nap now. Beyond that, I'm gonna wake back up again, kind of stretch out, roll out, pack my bags for Europe, eat another couple big meals, pass out, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be planning on around a 3 to 5 hour bike ride. So it's one of those kind of things where these big effort days are all about having the numbers rather than the hours. So for me, I hit the number that I wanted in my training early this morning. I absolutely smashed that high rock sim. And then this afternoon, I hit some really heavy numbers and it ended up working out really well. So numbers, not hours. Don't be one of those kind of people that just sits in the gym sweating for hours on end, never really getting your goals done. Every single year I've set a new record, and if you're one of those kind of people that aren't hitting PRs and are not reaching towards your goals, it means you do not have a system, you don't have a plan. And you can be aimless like that with your life, but if you want to be an athlete, it's just not how it works. So this is the lifestyle of High Performance Hunter, and we appreciate you guys logging in and watching because it's about to get wild this season.